Afternoon. This is Anita and Miss Panda. I know, second video. Crates. I know we've talked about them a little before. Yeah, I still have a mole problem in here. So the thought process is, and I know this one's upside down, but it just so it kind of explains, is that I will come in here with my shovel and dig up the babies that have survived. Does that make sense? And kind of set them aside. And then move my good soil to the point that I can bury this. So the top lip here is actually sitting on top. Does that make sense? So you'd be flip it over basically and sink it into the ground and put the soil back into it. Same thing with these. Panda, get out of the garden. Good girl. Come on, out of the garden. Good girl. Same thing with those. Double down. Does that make sense? Because the holes, they're all too small for a mole to dig through. And that's the goal here, is to get this to be mole proof. In any place where there's space, and I've got to figure it out. That's why I've got them all sitting over here. Any place that ends up with the space, garlic, daffodils, society garlic, even garlic chives are supposed to repel moles and voles. So any place that I have a space, I'll be planting some bulbs in here. And so it's like playing Tetris with all the crates that I have, seeing how they're going to fit. That way I can see if I need more. And or how many bulbs I need to buy, or how many garlic chives I need to plant that'll be on the outside of the crates. So give me a few minutes and I'll kind of zoom out and I'll show you my Tetris thingy here in just a minute. Alrighty, there's my Tetrisy. Larger one in the back, smaller one in the front. And that actually works all the way down, larger, smaller. Now this is two smaller ones because of the stump. And then larger, smaller when my containers aren't there will fit. I'll end up having to get another large one and another small one to fill in that side. Because you can still see where I have inches. So I'll have another room for one more set that I don't have there. Having said that, this was all I grabbed. Yeah, so I need to do it again for over here. You know, it looks like it'll take 10 containers to fill this side. So I need 10 containers over here plus the 2 that I need for the back side. And again, the thought process is get out the stuff that, to include the spinach, you know, go ahead and act like I'm transplanting the spinach. So I've got to plan a day for this, where I'm out here all day. Dig the spinaches up, dig my baby mustard greens up. So I'm gonna pull out a weed just so you can see I've got baby mustard greens in here doing their thing. Yes, if I didn't just kill it. But dig them up like a transplant. You know, put them in one of my seed trays or whatever, because they're only going to be out long enough for me to dig this stuff in, or put this stuff in. And I'll probably start with like my bucket there that's been emptied, because I've been watering when I need to water. And put all my good soil here that's got all the amenities and stuff. Start filling that bucket, you know, as much as I can. If there's any wood pieces left, because I did hugelkultur, dig those up as well, because the crates have to fit in. Does that make sense? That way there's inches. What's that? 3, 6, 9, between 9 and 12 inches worth of room in the crate for root systems to grow that the moles can't get into. So having said that, other thought processes. You can see there's a gap here. The 2 little ones have to stay here because they line up with the stump here that you know I set stuff on. So you can see where there's a gap, and a little bit of a gap and a gap up against the wall. So thought processes are to figure out, so there's like I don't know, maybe a 6-inch gap, because this is more than 6 inches here. But figure it out so they're evenly spaced, and then those are the rows where I'll do, like, you know, daffodils or garlic chives or society garlic, just so it's in between each row. You know, there's one of those things that moles and voles don't like, and then in between that is where the crates are. Again, that's the thought process. We will end up running this for a year, because it'll be next winter when I see whether or not moles or voles try and come in here, because it stays warm. You know, and so if that doesn't work, then I have to start working on more tubs. So I can go tubs all the way down. And then looking at how I want to do that too for watering, and just insanity. You know, it's all right. It is all good. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. So far, I like the crate idea. I think that'll work. You know, and if not, we'll change it up next year. Now, I'm not doing this today. I have another chore that I'm going to go jump onto today. This was just I was able to get some crates, see how they fit, you know, and they do fit. I need 12 more. So if we get snow tomorrow, I will not be picking any up. If we do not get snow tomorrow, I will go see if I can fit 12 more in my Jeep. And of course I can. So, yes, awesomeness. Wish me luck. And you know, we'll talk about this every now and then. Talk to you in a few.